Hello and welcome back to Killer Score, where Bowie's here to introduce the film as well. Thank you for getting down, Bowie. This is our 60th episode. Hello. Sorry for the delays. Wrapping up spooky season. We're on our final episode of it. Basically, stuff came up, so we couldn't record, but we're here now. And
Bowie?
Nobody. We've got some announcements to make with the show. For one, I just wanted to say, first let me do the preamble. Hello, welcome to Killer Score, the cult classic, the podcast that covers cult classic films, their scores, their soundtracks, and the composers behind them. Sheds a little more light and gives you fun facts and details. I, of course, am your host, Daulton Morrison.
Hi, I'm Erin Murray.
Richard Eckert, Richard's Rad Voices.
And Bowie has vacated the
For
couch.
now.
So, essentially, this...
Bowie our cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our cat.
Yeah.
His cat.
He basically, he's just being a little devil right now. He likes to bite on things a lot.
Including my cord.
That's okay. He tries to
okay,
bite
we're
on
trying to-
charging cords and stuff.
He was trying to eat the remote earlier.
Goodness gracious, Bowie.
Yeah. So, I have a bit of a sad announcement to make. For the foreseeable future, this will be the only theme month we do. I don't want to. I'm not going to point fingers, but
Seems
like you guys aren't very interested in musical, march, and anime. So we're just
You win some, you lose some.
we're just not going to do those unless there's like a big outcry in the comments or anything, and you guys want us to continue doing them. We will, but I hate to talk cold hard facts here, but the analytics are terrible for those months.
Yeah,
And-
we usually actually lose subscribers.
So we're not gonna be doing those for the foreseeable future. All right, so The Crow. This is one I've been wanting to talk about for a while.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first films I thought about when covering this, because Erin
Has not seen it.
Yeah, she's the uninitiated.
Blasphemer!
I love this movie, and I figured no better time to talk about it, considering it is, as I am 30, so is this film. And it's such a good movie, and it felt topical with the absolute shit show flop that was the Lionsgate remake.
What remake?
Yeah, there's no remake that came out recently. But all right, let's get into it.
Not even gonna put up an image.
Uninitiated,
Don't bother.
uninitiated, and
Hi,
Richie here.
the initiated.
Another initiated. Why don't you guys give your thoughts before I start throwing out facts? Well, I'll start with Erin since she's right here.
Since I'm right here. So, this is one of those movies I kept meaning to get around to see. But I was like, I'll read the comic first. Never got around to reading the comic either. It's been on my list for a very long time, probably since high school, to be honest, which was 12 years ago. Oh god, it's been 12 years since high school.
It does.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, existential crises aside.
Happens.
This is just one of those movies I've heard was really good. I've heard the soundtrack is very, 90s, industrial goth rock, which I was very interested in.
Alt rock too.
Alt rock, too, and indie.
Some of the best.
Yeah.
Because I heard there's a Cure song. Isn't there a Nine Inch Nails song? No?
Let me double check.
I think they were doing Final Destination.
Okay.
That was several years after this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the third movie?
Wouldn't this be the Downward Spiral?
Yeah, this was Downward Spiral era.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah. Soundtrack.
Yeah.
Plural.
Well, there's the score and the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one Nine Inch Nails song. It's a cover of Joy Division.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Hence the shirt.
I just wore an Elvira shirt that says love you to death, which I thought was a very apropos theme,
Yes.
as love and death seem to be a theme in this movie, as from what I've heard.
I have my Ultraman shirt because I didn't have nearly enough coffee, so this is what we're doing.
It's okay, I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I shouldn't, but I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna pass this over to Richie, because, yeah,
I got thoughts.
he has thoughts.
Oh, how excited am I for this? This was one of many movies that was among the earliest to be talked about as ideas for covering on the podcast. The second Daulton brought up this idea, he and I simultaneously said, The Crow!
Yeah.
And I also...
Honestly, I think you did mention this when we were first discussing this idea in an IHOP. Like the
Years
idea
ago.
For this podcast
In,
back in
2019. And it is... And there's a reason I'm excited for it, Erin, and it's because this movie is fucking fantastic. You will soon see that the acting, the cinematography, the soundtrack, the score, everything adds up to a dark and stylish masterpiece.
Yeah, like I've just been watching like the preview because we have the Blu-ray going on in the background, and so we're just looking at the menu and it's like the same like 4 scenes over and over again, and I'm just like, I can get into this.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, the other thing I was also going to mention is I heard a lot of people a lot of people reference this movie, and I feel like from what I've seen in documentaries and just reading stuff about it, this is the epitome of a cursed film.
Uh-huh. You have no idea. But, as I am not the host this time, I cannot be the one listing off trivia. Daulton,
Yep.
let's bring it back to you.
And Bowie, stop eating remotes.
And
I can hold it.
Yeah. Oh, you can hold it?
Yeah, I'll hold
Thank
it for you.
I have a cat on me, and I'm sure he wants pets, so... No remotes. Stop trying to bite technology.
He's an analog guy.
Yeah. Alright, so this was released in 94, as I stated, and it was based on the 89 graphic novel by James O'Barr, and this was one of the early superhero films based off an independent property. There's only a few of them before this, for example, the Ninja Turtles, because that was based off an indie comic.
I think Spawn was after.
Yes.
Spawn was after. Wasn't that 97?
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Yes.
And this is also a rare superhero movie because it was in that period where superhero movies were still kind of finding their footing and mostly bad.
Yeah.
The
It
dark
was the
age.
90s.
Yeah, there was the Batman movies. The first 2 were good, and that was kind of it for the most part.
Forever was a mess.
Yeah, and then the old superhero movies, like the old Superman ones. Once again, the first 2 were good.
And then those movies fucking fell off.
Thanks, Richard Pryor.
Not his fault.
Yeah, but he doesn't help that movie at all.
Yeah.
It's the best part, though. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, the original graphic novel was also made to cope with grief. Specifically, it was a way of O'Barr getting over his fiancée being killed by a drunk driver.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
So, it actually got offers for a movie earlier than 94.
Really?
Yeah. But and this tells you what the time this was. The early studio pitch was turned down by O'Barr because they wanted to make it a musical starring Michael Jackson.
All right, then. I don't know where to start with that, but we can only go up from here.
Oh my god. That is a comic gold mine.
Somebody talented artist out there for Killer Score. If you want to just like dick around with the art tutorial, you don't have to if you don't want to. But if one of you wants to draw Michael Jackson as the Crow, I would love you forever.
Hey, Conti, Chris Conti, Noisy Dragon. Any of y'all want to jump in on that? Go ahead.
You can pass it back there.
Oh my god.
Got some money there. So O'Barr finally started to play ball with the studios after his friend and writer John Shirley started working on the project, and they went through several versions of the script before they found one they liked. But Shirley was fired from the production after getting into arguments with the producer Edward Pressman, and that was because Pressman gave the film credibility that they fired Shirley, because Pressman had actually been producing films since the late 1960s.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was on nearly 3 decades. Yeah, he was on nearly 3 decades of film production at that point. So you can see why Shirley got kicked off the project for arguing with that guy, you know?
Yeah.
And funny enough, I felt this would be a fun little bit of trivia. He worked on previous Killer Score episode film, The Phantom of the Paradise. Yeah, he was the producer for Phantom of the Paradise.
Another dark, stylish one.
The writer David J. Shaw was brought in for rewrites on the movie. And due to the aesthetics and themes of this film, they actually sought out music video directors like Julian Temple, but instead they ended up with director Alex Proyas. River Phoenix and Christian Slater were actually considered for the leading role.
Not bad
Choices at all. Honestly, both of them I could see doing it.
especially River Phoenix.
Absolutely. But Brandon Lee heard about it, and he really wanted to do it. And he came in, and O'Barr was like, I don't know if I want Brandon Lee to do it. Because before this, Brandon Lee's most well-known role was a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
Like a buddy cop comedy that he was in.
I'll put it up in post if I
Yeah.
can find it.
Also, it came out like a couple of years before this. Also was a cult following film nowadays, apparently. But O'Barr saw Lee do the role, and that was it. He was like, all right, we got to get Lee. He's really good. He actually lost 20 pounds for the part.
Oh, wow.
And did most...
Fitting for the wraith-like appearance
Yeah.
of the title character.
Did most of his own stunts.
Damn.
And since, because of his heritage, he got a subplot removed because it involved Asian stereotypes.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
And yes, this is the son of Bruce Lee we're talking
Yes.
Yes.
The film was shot entirely in Wilmington, North Carolina, over the course of about 2 months.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They use Wilmington for Detroit.
Yeah. It was the final film of its star, Brandon Lee, who was infamously killed by a prop gun being used by fellow star Michael Massey during filming. The film was released posthumously with body doubles and stand-ins for a few shots. The shooting happened because time constraints combined with not properly double-checking firearms led to a dummy round being fired with the actual force of a .44 Magnum bullet.
Yeah.
Which fatally wounded Lee after striking his abdomen.
And if there is one thing we can learn from both this and, hauntingly enough, everything going on around Rust, you must check your prop guns.
Yeah.
Even blanks are dangerous. Don't believe the myths. Blanks can fucking kill you.
Yeah. Because Daulton and I did watch a documentary on the making of this film on Shudder. We watched Cursed Films, and they actually went step by step and like by how something got jammed in the prop gun, and when they fired it twice, that whatever got jammed in there became a projectile.
Yeah. Tragically, the incident also occurred when there was only 3 days left of filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cast and crew just soldiered on to finish it. Paramount, who had been financing the film, basically tried to distance themselves from the project after this.
Yeah,
The film was going to be... They literally thought about pulling out, releasing it theatrically entirely. Hey! Mister, you get away from that. Well, get. Bad. Go. Shoot.
Technical difficulties have arrived on Killer Score. Please stand by.
Dude, seriously?
May want to come to you.
Okay, well, all right. They had been financing the film, and they distanced themselves afterwards and thought about not distributing it theatrically, which Miramax saw as a golden opportunity. They swooped in, financed the film for an additional $8 million to finish it, and they handled the theatrical distribution. The additional money also led to more rewrites, narration, and extra shots to enhance the film. The famous character from the comics, the Skull Cowboy, was originally in the film, with excellent prosthetics, and was being played by Michael Berryman.
Huh.
The Hills Have Eyes guy?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold it in the middle.
Scary looking fella in the movie's nice guy by the sounds of it.
Yeah, but he was cut, and his character is the same as it is in the comics, a man who exists to guide those who are between the living and the dead. But it was cut from the film after Lee died because they felt like
Kind of
poor taste almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I got a bit of trivia for this movie.
Yeah.
The gangster character, Top Dollar. You may notice.
He's
You may notice.
chewing on a Blu-ray.
And troublingly on the tripod again.
Bowie, stop.
Bowie.
Please.
Bowie,
stop
please.
the tripod.
Bowie.
Cat toy somewhere around here.
There's cat toys, dude.
Somewhere.
Play with those.
You don't have to knock them
my
all down the
God.
stairs.
Bowie.
Come on. Hey, Bowie, stop. No. No.
Sometimes you gotta be firm.
Yeah.
So, Top Dollar from this movie.
Yes.
You might notice that he takes a couple of cues from Iggy Pop.
Yes.
Iggy Pop was going to play him in this movie.
Bowie. No.
Iggy Pop was going to play him in this movie, but he was filming other movies. Weirdly enough, however, he ended up playing a villain in the second Crow movie. Yeah,
Oh,
one of
God,
those
there's
direct-to-TV
They're
movies.
very bad.
They're pretty
I
bad.
figured.
Yeah. It's just more of the same but worse, essentially. But I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This movie arguably set the stage for dark, stylish comic book movies. Your Sin
I was
Cities,
gonna say Sin City.
Yeah.
your Dark Knights. There's even a tiny bit of Burton Batman in this, I'd say.
Yeah. So, back to the trivia. You can put that there. And so, yeah. Sadly, O'Barr actually regretted making this film after the death of Lee, and stated it almost felt like losing his wife again.
Oh.
Yeah, like that sort of like exact same feeling of grief, because
Damn.
they became friends during the production.
That's just tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really fucked up Michael Massey too. He still
Yeah.
like feels awful about it to this day.
Mm-hmm.
When I think he even breaks down in the Shudder documentary when it
He
gets
does.
brought up.
Yeah.
This
Bowie.
this was also only the second film Alex Proyas directed.
Ooh.
What was the first?
I forgot to write it down. It was like it was also like a cult film. But Proyas is probably most well known aside from this movie for the films Dark City, iRobot, and Knowing.
The first of which is actually a candidate for this show, Dark City.
Yeah.
Aaron, have you seen Dark City?
Nope.
Dalton?
Nope. He kind of has fallen off of directing after releasing a major flop in 2016,
That sucks.
which was,
Yeah.
I believe, Gods of Egypt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh god, that train wreck.
Although they didn't get a music video director to direct the film, they did, however, get a music video cinematographer to handle most of the shot work.
And that would be?
Darius Wolski, who did cinematography for music videos for artists like Elton John, David Bowie, and Sting.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That is some pedigree.
Yep. The score, of course, was handled by past Killer score subject Graham Revel. You can see more about him by watching our episode on the Power Rangers movie.
Go ahead up here.
Yeah.
Above my head.
Above Dalton's head. Above Dalton's head, actually.
Sure, yeah.
For the
We'll just put it somewhere. in
Yeah.
here.
for the card on the Power Rangers episode. Graham
Yes.
Revel is another fantastic
Yes.
composer.
He will come up again on this podcast as well, I can tell you.
This is the third time too.
Yeah. It also features, and it features his orchestral work, but as good as his score is, it's not what this film is most well known for. No, the part of the music it's most well known for is its soundtrack. And I just want to say, some of you might be confused by that and go, the soundtrack? For the younger members of the audience, at least, I'm going to say that. But the 90s in particular were a huge era for movie tie-in soundtracks.
Space Jam.
The Godzilla movie,
Boo.
bad movie, very good soundtrack.
For the most part.
Yeah, that Schwarzenegger End of Days, that had a really good soundtrack too. Like Train Spotting, like
Great metal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Trainspotting,
Yeah.
my favorite movie.
so.
Can't cover down here because we've all seen it.
This is one of the most iconic soundtracks of the 90s. Fun fact, I befriended a girl in college because we were like showing music collections, and she saw I had the Crow CD. She's like, "Oh my god, can I burn that?" And I was like, "Absolutely, you can burn that. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, of course, yeah."
Killer Score does not condone piracy in any way.
And yeah, you know, when a pretty girl asks you if she could borrow something, you're like, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Who was she? I'm kidding.
I've shown you photos of her, and you've said she's hot.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good.
And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Who has the Blu-ray case?
Someone.
I think you left it in the dining room.
Hang on.
No, it's around here somewhere. Hold up. Anyway,
I'm
not done with the trivia. Anyway.
Oh, you aren't?
No.
No, there's a lot more.
Keep
Wanna
going.
build it?
Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, my hands are getting
It's
tired.
okay. It's one of the most iconic soundtracks of the 90s. Was a massive success. And perfectly suits the tone of the film by using a lot of iconic rock artists from the goth, indie, and alternative scenes.
9 Inch Nails.
Jesus, Mary Chain, The Cure,
I'm gonna get more into Jesus Mary Chain.
Thrill Kill Cole, Jane Siberry.
Throw Cole.
Yeah, Rollins Band.
Oh,
Doing
yay.
a really good cover of Ghost Rider. Cure.
It's Henry Rollins.
Yeah. The Cure even composed a original song entitled Burn for the film. And New Order were actually going to cover Love Will Tear Us Apart again for the film. They were going to do a New Order spin on their old Joy Division. Yeah. Yeah. But they were interested, but they were way too busy with their album Republic at the time.
Gotcha.
Which famously troubled production album
Yeah.
right there, so it makes sense. That's the one where they went off to like Ibiza to record it too and stuff like that.
Damn, even the bands attached to this movie are cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like got a New Order.
And if you guys think I exaggerate the importance of soundtrack albums, hell, it even continued on into the pre-iPod era. I mean, do you guys remember how big the Spider-Man soundtrack was?
Yep.
With Nickelback?
And with the Aerosmith cover, the Spider-Man theme?
I was gonna say.
Oh, wait.
Spider-Man...
Armageddon. Armageddon's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, also,
Space Jam.
The Bodyguard.
Like Space Jam, like we said, like Bodyguard, yeah. The Space Jam's Titanic.
Yeah.
Like...
Even later, because look at, like, for example, the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack and how
Yeah.
well that's sold.
But this soundtrack...
Daredevil?
Nobody remembers Daredevil.
No.
Except for me, because I'm old, I guess.
Yeah. The soundtrack went #1 in America. Yeah. A film soundtrack went #1 in America.
Yeah, I think the next time that happened might have been 50 Shades of Grey.
And it was a chart topper in several other countries. It cracked the top 10 in a lot of countries. It also effectively started the career of a well-known rock band because this was many people's introduction to Stone Temple Pilots.
Really?
Oh.
The soundtrack album predates their debut album Purple by several months.
Oh.
So the big hit song,
Bowie.
the big hit song off of this, Big Empty. Yes, Big Empty started on the Crow soundtrack, and Big Empty itself became a huge hit afterwards. And the soundtrack version predates the version off of Purple.
That's okay, as long as it doesn't...
Bowie,
Bowie, get down.
hold this, dude. Back, go.
He protested.
Yeah, he was whimpering.
Like, no.
Many of the featured artists were also based off the taste of O'Bar, with the Cure and Joy Division having even been referenced in the Cure and the Crow comics themselves. The film was a huge box office success and has become a huge cult hit. While none of its sequels reached its success, it spawned years of people dressing up as Eric Draven for parties. And, of course, it led to an eventual reboot, which...
Boo!
Yeah.
It
Don't
doesn't
watch
exist.
it. Don't watch
It
it.
doesn't exist.
This is a great movie. It's believed to be cursed, like some people said, because all the production issues and Lee.
I was also gonna say.
Not to mention that another one of the people involved in it died tragically several years after.
Jesus Christ, really?
Tui Chang's in this movie.
Oh,
my God.
no. Oh, yeah, she's one of the bad guys.
Yeah, and she was actually heavily praised for her role in this movie. Like, this was actually, like, people forget, this actually got, like, really good critical reviews when it came out. And, like, part of the tragedy behind it, too, is, like, everyone had nothing but great things to say about, like Lee's performance. Even people who thought, like, the movie was just, like, more comic book stuff was like, yeah, but, you know, Brandon Lee's really good in it.
Apparently, like, and those people are right, honestly.
Yeah.
Watch this movie and you will see Brandon Lee didn't just have nepotism on his side, and he
Was genuinely talented.
He was
actor.
genuinely talented and almost hypnotic. Anytime he talks in this movie, you just gotta shut up and listen.
Yeah,
It's so spellbinding.
Yeah, I was also gonna mention on a lighter note, when we did Monster Mania a few years ago, our table was right next to this author whose name I'm blanking on. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now.
Yeah, we would have been happy to.
We would have been happy to shout you out, but I'm sorry. But I remember he was dressed as the Crow for all 3 days of that convention.
Toe to top, makeup,
Toe to top,
everything.
makeup, hair, everything. And I'm just like, you must be so freaking hot in this convention center. And he's like, yeah, I am.
Not to mention, I think James O'Barr was at that signing stuff too.
I think he was at that. He was there.
Oh yeah, because I have that copy of one of the Crow books that Daulton.
Nice guy.
Yeah, Daulton had that signed for me. By the way, thank you for that,
No
buddy.
Yep.
Oh god, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised we haven't covered this sooner.
Same.
Yeah.
But hey, anniversary's up. Seems like a great time to cover it.
And we can talk about how this succeeded,
Oh, yeah.
where the other failed.
Yep. All right. So, does anyone want to read the box once we
Find the box.
Once I'll get it. I'll get it. I think it's out there.
I thought you put it over there.
Yeah, I did. Why
Okay.
did I take my headphones off?
Should Erin read it since she's the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It only seems fair.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
This print is so freaking tiny. Before Sin City and the Dark Knight rose... Sorry, this is really small print. There was The Crow, the dark, lurid revenge fantasy from the New York Times, from director Alex Proyas, Dark City, that entranced audiences and critics alike. Featuring Brandon Lee in his final performance, The Crow is the tale of a young musician, Eric Draven, played by Lee, who, along with his fiancée, is murdered on the eve of their Halloween wedding. Exactly 1 year after their deaths, Eric is risen from the grave by a mysterious crow to seek out his killers and force them to answer for their crimes.
All right.
I tried to read that dramatically while also having this like 6 inches from my
we
face.
we will get back to you after the screening.
Yep.
And we're back. And going right back in, I just want to make a couple corrections. One, the Michael Berryman stuff was cut before Brandon Lee's death. It was just because they didn't like how it looked, and tonally they felt it didn't really gel with the whole film. And two, Tui Trang was in The Crow City of Angels.
The second one.
The second one, she's considered one of the few good parts of that movie.
And Iggy Pop.
Yeah, and it was Bai Ling that is
was
like
in
the
this
villainous henchwoman in this movie. Just a couple more things. This movie had way more production issues than it, because that's part of the reason Miramax injected more money into it. As people said, they were a crew member said they were trying to make a $30 million movie on an $18 million budget. And that's part of why so many set accidents and shit happened, because like cutting corners. Filming in North Carolina was a bad idea because it's a right to work state.
Oh.
So cast and crew were just like forced to put up with shit. Even early on there were weird omens. Brandon Lee cut his hand on sugar glass, which shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It's sugar glass. It's supposed to like shatter on impact.
On day one.
Oh god.
Day one. voicemail was left saying bad things are going to happen to you.
7 days.
Seriously.
Honestly, the most confusing part of that is they listed on a goddamn voicemail.
There were hurricanes.
Well, it is North Carolina.
Fires. A guy's hand got embedded in a screwdriver.
Was this the fucking 10 Commandments?
A set electrician suffered first and third degree burns on his body.
Ew.
Yeah, it just was not a great production. It's
like biblical shit.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Like everything pointing out saying, "Do not make this movie."
Yeah, but they did, and there were some bad results. It was a great film, but at what cost, man? At what cost?
Yeah.
Like, woof.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie, but and I'm pretty sure the sequels were cursed because Tui Trang, like literally, City of Angels was Tui Trang's last film.
Yeah, and then she died in a
Was it a car accident?
Yeah.
crash.
Yeah, I think she like literally went off. Yeah, an embankment.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Yeah. What is it with celebrities and dying horrifically in car crashes?
Yeah.
James Dean.
Jane Mansfield,
Jane Mansfield.
Tui Trang. I feel like there were others too.
There are. I just can't think of any names right now.
Yeah.
I'm not inclined to list them because I want to talk about how much I like this movie.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
I adore this film. This is, God, I don't know, probably 5th, 6th time seeing it. I've seen it a lot. I just adore it. The dialogue's fantastic. Brandon Lee is electrifying in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's chilling. His whole performance is chilling. The way he balances, like, terror and warmth, like, so quickly in the same role is,
That
like,
is
astonishing.
not easy.
No, and great physical acting too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's an underrated part of his performance in this role. And I'm not just talking about the stunts. I mean, like, when you feel him physically writhing around in pain
His
just
trembling.
from being in his apartment where he got murdered, like,
yeah.
it's tough stuff.
And when he first pops out of the grave.
And he's screaming, yeah, like, this is a powerful film. It says a lot about grief and a lot about hardship, but it's a hopeful film at the same time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because it, as the film repeats to you, it can't rain all the time. And that's like the core of this film. It's just like, no matter how bad shit gets, there's always light. And there's always hope. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it down to the others. See what you guys think.
So, so I'm just gonna give a little background on my experience with this movie before seeing it. At first I was a little hesitant because there is the scene where the our leads get murdered. It's not even a spoiler. Come on, I've heard that's like an incredibly brutal.
It is.
It is. It very much is.
Honestly, I appreciate that it's done in like short snippets and flashbacks.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, here's one very long scene that you have to sit through, which I do appreciate.
It's done as tastefully as you can do something
as
like
possible,
that.
which I did really appreciate because that's one of the reasons I was hesitant to watch it because I was like, but it was fun. It was done very tastefully, which I do appreciate, and it wasn't done in a way that's just like long and drawn out, and you're just sitting there for like 15 minutes.
And it's not done for titillation like a lot of shitheads do.
Yeah.
It's done kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn, where they give you a milliseconds flash of a victim before cutting away.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually did really enjoy this movie. Brandon Lee is fantastic throughout the film.
Mm-hmm.
I love the actress who plays Sarah.
Oh, she's great.
She's wonderful. I love her performance in this.
I don't know if she did anything else.
I'm not sure. Look it up.
She, Rochelle Davis
That name
has...
sounds familiar.
Doesn't have a Wikipedia thing or anything. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh. No. What it does do now, however...
Is she a tattoo artist or something?
Nope. She is assistant professor of anthropology at the Center for Contemporary Arab Studies in the School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University.
Good for her.
Although, if these pictures are any indication, she does make convention appearances.
That's cool.
That is cool.
I'll pull that up in post.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. I'm glad that she does that still. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, because
Not every...
Not every child actor in horror films want to be remembered for being in a horror film.
Or, you know, or just, like, move on.
Or just move on. I mean...
Like, didn't the kid from Christmas Story become a dentist?
I think so. And the kid who played, the kid in Willy Wonka,
Yeah.
that was, like, his only film role, I think.
Yeah, didn't he become a doctor? Or...
I think he's a pediatrician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the performances in this movie. The music is phenomenal.
Both the original
score and the soundtrack.
Oh.
And the cinematography, I'm gonna have to go on a rant about that because I love it so much, but I'm gonna pass it off to Richie before I go crazy.
You guys can continue. I just need to get some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the unrestrained dark beauty of The Crow cannot be overstated. The cinematography is perfect from toe to top. The lighting is dark and shadowy without sparing any details and being very coherent. It's very coherent
The
in...
lighting. Please take notes from this, Hollywood, about lighting dark scenes.
Like, I have my problems with Sin City, but it was right to take notes from this movie. And do I even need to say that Brandon Lee gave a tour de force performance?
I don't think you have to, but you got gushers.
Yeah, I brought gushers.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
There you go.
Yay.
But, not the biggest gushers, guys, so you can have the rest. Sorry.
Shocker.
Well, I'm kind of surprised anyway.
Anyway,
I thought everyone liked gushers.
I have a weird texture thing about them. Anyway. Yeah,
That I understand. I'm a texture guy myself.
I'm a texture guy. But I don't think we will ever know what we lost when Brandon Lee was taken from us. But if he had to give a last performance,
My God.
oh my God.
Yeah.
The way he seamlessly transitions from brutality to tenderness towards Sarah is just astounding. Like, he is running an acting triathlon and he doesn't miss a beat.
No, he really doesn't.
As expected, too, of Graham Revel, the score is immaculate.
Yes, both the soundtrack and the score were just chef's kiss.
Every graveyard scene gets me pretty heavy-eyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has a lot to do with the score. Also, weird thing to compliment, but whoever the animal trainer was on that...
Oh my God, the Crow was so fucking good in this movie. And I mean the actual, like, animal actor for the Crow.
Yeah, the bird, not the...
The bird, not the movie.
Not the hero. That's like this... See, that is the second best animal actor, in my opinion.
Who's the first?
This movie has some fucking problems, Dalton. The dog from I Am Legend, though. That dog was the highlight of the movie for me. That
For
German
me?
Shepherd.
For me, it's that little dog that appeared in every Hollywood production for a while.
What?
The dog who played Benji?
No, the dog from Silence of the Lambs, because that dog was in a billion movies.
Oh my God.
Really?
That little Bichon.
Oh,
Honestly, I feel like the two hardest animals you can try to train for a film are probably cats and birds, so I definitely give this a lot. I definitely give this movie
bird
two
trainer-
thumbs up for birds.
that bird trainer knew what he was doing.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace. Rest in peace to the trained roach from Vampire's Kiss.
Rest in peace.
Moving on.
Rest in peace
That's
also
a
to
thing.
the...
I know it was a live trained roach.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
We did
And
talk about that.
way back in the Phantom of the Paradise.
That's a... Wow, that's a throwback.
Wait, no. Phantom of the Opera.
Oh yeah.
With Russell.
Yeah. He was
Still
like,
a throwback, but
no,
not as
my
far.
train road.
Terry!
No.
If you want context of that, go watch the
Yeah, Phantom
1943 Phantom of the Opera video.
Same too. Once again, I gotta bring it up, the mosquito from Near Dark.
Yeah.
It was bred to be killed.
That's horrifying.
I mean,
That is kind of terrifying.
I don't want to be this guy, but it was a mosquito.
Also, how the fuck did they
Who
train a
directed Near
mosquito?
Dark again?
Huh?
You directed Near Dark again.
Catherine Bigelow.
Can we talk about how Catherine Bigelow's career is nowhere near as good as what it was early on? Because she just started to do a bunch of military garbage.
Yeah, the Hurt Locker.
Yeah. One of the worst Academy Award winners, in my opinion.
Yeah. The only reason I laugh about the Hurt Locker is because it was up against her ex-husband's movie, which was Avatar.
And then you get to see James Cameron's face of just huh?
Of him just being like,
I would be confused too, because the Hurt Locker is I saw that movie. I remember nothing about the Hurt Locker.
There's actually a lot of Oscar-winning Best Pictures that you just don't remember. How many people remember the details of the King's Speech?
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh. Hey guys, remember The Artist?
There was one line of dialogue in the movie. That's as much as I remember. It's in the last scene.
Hey guys, remember that one from 1980 that upset every single movie and everyone got pissed off that it won?
What?
I can't remember.
Is it
the name.
Driving Miss Daisy?
No.
Was it the Jazz Singer remake?
No.
Okay.
It was literally a film that people, whenever they look over the most confusing Oscar winners, they're like,
Okay. I go look.
Ordinary People.
Ordinary People.
Ordinary People.
That's
Okay.
the one. It beat out a bunch of fantastic films, and people were like,
Huh?
Yeah. Honestly, I can think of a handful of movies that actually I honestly think were these are Oscar noms that Academy Award Best Picture winners that actually deserved it, and it's Parasite, Everything Everywhere All at Once. These are just some recent ones.
Great ones, for the record.
Yeah. The Godfather. If you want to go way far back. Because although Cabaret was up for Best Picture, it did lose to The Godfather, and I made my peace with that.
oh yeah, because Ordinary People beat out movies like Tess, Empire Strikes Back, Raging Bull.
Coal Miner's Daughter.
Yeah.
Raging Bull and Empire
The
Strikes
Fly.
Back. Oh my god. What the fuck? What the
Also-
fuck, Academy?
Yeah. Also, this is something that people don't random because I was reading out Dalton's phone.
Drac, thank you for knocking the mic loose a little bit.
No, I was gonna.
I'll try and fix that.
Okay. Coal
In
Miner's
post.
Daughter was actually one of the first Hollywood films that had the actors doing the singing for the soundtrack instead of it being dubbed over.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
It
pretty
was
cool.
actually Sissy Spacek, I think, who was singing Loretta Lynn.
Had a pretty good voice.
right, because it's and it's a biopic.
Of Loretta Lynn, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, The Crow.
Anyway, back to the Crow.
Let's talk about those action scenes.
Oh, the
they're
action
God.
scenes.
Really good.
Yes.
It is no small feat to have a movie
Have that one?
this dark but still be so easy to follow.
Yeah.
Everything is as precise as a well choreographed ballet.
I get these people candy and they don't eat it.
Technically, it's a fruit snack.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I get Richie. I understand you have a texture thing. Aaron, I got you.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna eat it on camera because you hear.
I don't care. I did it. Some people pay extra for that. I don't know.
The audio editor cares.
That's fair. He doesn't want to do ASMR of people chewing. Moving on.
Do you want this? Do you want? Yeah, take the mic, Erin. You know what? No, I'm holding it. Do you want it, motherfucker? How about you sink this for 3.5 hours?
I'm enjoying my water.
Yeah. You're enjoying this water, and now you're enjoying that water while I gotta know that you passively sass me for doing my goddamn job, you piece of shit.
This episode is brought to you by water. Water! You need it to live.
Hydrate or dihydrate. But fuck you, dude.
Hydrate or I don't know.
End up in the
Kidney
hospital.
stones. I don't know.
Fuck.
Or you end up like that weird, alt-right adjacent influencer woman who's ended up in the hospital several times because she refuses to drink water.
Poetic justice? Question mark?
Because she refuses to drink water and she eats too much butter.
Paula Deen? Go. Yeah.
Who
You
was
know,
who was that other?
don't forget the sour cream and cream cheese. That's a Paul Dean thing too.
Who was that other? Didn't Julia Childs do a fuckload of shit with butter too?
Well, French cooking, a lot of it is based around butter.
A lot of butter.
Yeah.
So, putting that aside, and also Dalton trivializing my job again.
Putting aside the crimes of Julia Childs.
And putting aside
Have some beef bourguignon.
and the crimes of Dalton Morrison. Anyway, The Crow. This
I feel like we spent the last 10 minutes just diverting the entire episode.
The Crow, City of Childs.
City of Children.
I'm gonna Photoshop something. I'll do something. Anyway, the action scenes are all great. Great.
I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why, but I always pictured. I only know somewhat of what Julia Child sounds like. I always pictured her as sounding like that robot from the Star Wars Holiday Special. That's the cook.
The alien.
Yeah.
Stir,
whip, stir, whip, whip, stir.
beat.
Yeah.
And anyway.
I think it was actually supposed to be a parody of Julia Child.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I would check out.
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised.
that just like boggled my mind a bit there.
Because she had like a very high-pitched voice like this.
Very sing-songy.
Yeah, which is very funny because that woman was like 6'2".
Imagine that running at you doing that voice.
I'm sorry, Julia Child's family.
The Crow. Anyway.
I'm going to fucking kick your ass.
The Crow.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I watch too many cooking videos on YouTube. Also, her
Christ.
husband was very short, I think.
I'm just laughing. Like, great idea for a D&D character. Julia Childs, like,
Child.
influenced barbarian. You use a rolling pin.
No, wait.
I fucking hate you, Dalton.
Oh, I just thought of
I
the
hate
worst
you so-
D&D minor villain.
What?
Angry grandma in a kitchen with a rolling pin.
You fail, she turns you into a meat pie.
You fail, you get beaten with a rolling pin.
Let's bring this. Hey,
Hey, you touched my boob.
Sorry. Sorry. That was an act.
I know.
It's the pop filter. Fucking shit.
Okay.
The Crow. All right.
Back to the Crow, Bowie. Please don't climb the TV.
It's
Back to the Star
For
Wars
a-
Holiday Special.
for a. Shut the fuck up, Dalton. Anyway, for a movie with a somewhat lower budget, it's kind of impressive how they got some really good John Woo-ish action scenes out of it.
Yeah.
They
There
really
was a
did.
moment. There was straight up a moment where Brandon Lee was doing the Wesley Gibson thing from Wanted.
Bowie. Get down.
Bowie says no.
Uh-oh.
Bowie,
No.
no. Thank you.
But yeah, he was doing the whole crossed guns thing, just boom, 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 boom. And
Keep this up, dude. We're going to start filming back at the burger basement.
yeah, if we can schedule
He
it.
just swat at you.
Yeah, you got to know to buy that.
He's a little rebel today.
Yeah.
He is. Anyway.
But yeah, action scenes
Wesley
are great.
Snipes or something.
One thing I'm really impressed by is how the movie uses lightning and rain. Because the precision of all the flashes. One thing, like, when Eric first comes out of the grave, he
The Rain Machine guy made a good paycheck off of this movie, let me
Yeah.
How much you want to bet it's the same dude who did Road to Perdition?
tell you.
Just with how the Rain Machine worked there?
You know how, like, Hollywood has, like, some families, like, you know, like, they bring it up in, like, Nope, how it's like, oh, yeah, we're, like, we do the horses for Hollywood and stuff. I like to imagine there's a Rain Machine family.
Yeah.
They've just been doing it since like the 30s.
They've been doing it since Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain.
Maybe before that.
Spawn.
Those noir films back in the 30s.
You want a Rain Machine, you gotta go to us. We got the union. We're the Rain Machine Union.
It's like that family
It's a
from.
union for everything.
It's like that the horse family from Nope.
That's what he
it was
just
like-
said.
That's what I literally just said, bro.
Oh. You said horses?
Yes.
Yes.
I
That was
missed.
his example that he used.
What were you doing?
I don't know. I was
Were
like-
you here?
I had an out of body experience. Anyway.
Clearly, jeez. I spoke very clearly about the Nope connection.
The Nope horses.
Oops. I pulled a Timon from Lion King. Anyway.
So we were talking about the Scorpion King, right? Ah, you get it. You get it.
I got it.
You got it.
If you know, you know. Anyway.
You get it.
Nope.
Ah!
Aaron, put hit
That was
there.
good.
That was
You almost had me there.
Yeah.
that was awesome. Anyway,
Watch Nope as well if you have.
Go watch Nope. If you're claustrophobic, you're gonna have a great time.
arguably,
Because there's. Yeah, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
it's all.
you're
It's,
gonna have a great
it's
time.
all open spaces. It's set in the desert, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Set on a ranch.
Although
It's totally not an.
Are ranches known for having small spaces? No.
Both of those were shitting out
Bowie.
our asses.
Bowie, come on.
what is your deal today, bro?
I don't know.
Anyway, the rain's good, the lightning. So as I was saying, Eric gets out of the grave, and you don't really see much of his face in the darkness.
No.
But
You see him scream.
you see him scream, but it's pretty obfuscated in a good way.
Yeah.
But then, once he gets up to his room where the murder happens, he puts on that black and white makeup and his gear, and then he steps out of the top floor. Then the lightning flashes, and you see that shadow,
Bobby.
that black and white makeup face,
Mm-hmm.
and it is haunting.
Yeah.
You really get the impression that this guy has risen from his grave for revenge.
Also, I like how it's very similar to Harlequin makeup.
Yeah,
that was
he used like a Harlequin mask.
yeah, because he previously used a Harlequin mask, and I'm like, that's an interesting touch. I do like that.
Fitting given his showman background
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a goth rock musician.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Again, we talked about the score earlier and about how Graham Revel is a master of setting scenes.
Yes.
But how about some of the soundtrack tracks, like
Burn.
Yep.
and that Nine Inch Nails
Cover
Joy Division?
of Dead Souls, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Reznor fucking nailed it.
He did.
Yeah.
That combining that with that shot of him running across the rooftops and jumping from roof to roof.
Also, I just love the cinematography in that scene, because you see the crow in the foreground and the crow in the background. I'm sorry. You see the crow in the foreground and Eric in the background, and they're running in unison, and the way that film is shot, oh my god, I love it so much.
Oh yeah.
I told you would like this movie.
Yes.
Goths rejoice.
Yes.
Like, this is required gothic cinema in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
And
Every goth kid in my high school is like, you need to watch The Crow.
I know that they didn't shoot it in black and white like they wanted to, but I really wish somebody would make a black and white cut of this movie. I would love to see how this would look in black and white.
I'm sure a bit of editing could that's easy
Yeah.
to edit, isn't
It's
it?
it. Yeah, you just put a filter over it.
Just
But
put a
still,
filter.
I would love to see how this looks in black and white.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think even without the black and white filter, they did a good job of balancing light and dark.
Yeah.
They really did. Hollywood, take note, because this is how you shoot night scenes.
Yeah.
This is how you do dark without doing, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? I can't see shit.
It's funny. My brother's upstairs and he sounded like Julia Childs for a second.
It's Child. There's no S.
No S.
I thought it was Child.
No.
No, that's a different actress, I think.
Oh.
An actress whose last name is Childs. Can't remember.
Do you
the
know
first
who it
name.
is, by? No? Okay.
It's picking up his purring.
He purrs very loud.
Yeah, he's a little motorboat.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah.
that got picked up. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we want to do spoilers for this? Because there is one scene I wanted to talk about that's my favorite.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can do spoilers at 55:13.
Yeah.
All right, 55:13. We're going into spoilers.
As Dalton alluded to, as bleak as this movie is, and it is very, very bleak.
Yes.
Yes,
It is also hopeful.
it is.
And for all that Eric goes through and all of his friend Sarah goes through, a lot of good happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that always gets me teary and smiling is that scene where he goes and takes out one of the thugs in the hotel.
Fun boy.
Who, Fun Boy, who is basically the main client for Sarah's sex worker mom, who is drug-addled and not that great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he comes up.
That the effects of him using the powers to squeeze the morphine.
The morphine.
Over.
Of flushing it out of her
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, that was the one scene in the movie that would go, ugh.
And the way, and that line, "Mother is the name for God, on the lips and hearts of all children."
It's a really good line.
Yeah.
I think it's a poet line.
Yeah, there's a lot of poetry and like.
I mean,
stuff
they
quoted
literally
in
use
this
the
one.
Raven.
Yeah, and also, I think they quote from Paradise Lost in this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that's the shit he's saying when he opens the book and he's quoting it.
When he
they're,
first comes out of the grave and...
Yeah, and he's like remembering the torture and stuff. I think that might have been Paradise Lost. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I've never, don't quote me on, I've never read Milton.
Yeah.
I'll get around to it because this is me.
If we're wrong, I'll do what I usually do and put a caption denoting...
Yeah, I've read Dostoevsky and I work in my way to Tolstoy. So
Yeah. Good luck.
This guy is a notorious bookworm.
yeah, I read Gogol. I really like Gogol. Yeah, I'm gonna get the 3 literature nerds in the audience mad. You guys ready for this?
Oh boy.
Gogol is highly underrated and way better than Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky's way too long-winded and he repeats a lot of the same points over and over and over again. And it's like, oh my god, dude, shut up. We get it.
Can't wait for that.
We get it, God in politics.
Can't wait for that one angry
Russian literature nerd who's...
Yeah. It's fucking crying over his Chekhov.
Oh, look at the little paw.
Oh, Bobby.
Yeah. Oh, he's putting it on my hand.
He's letting you touch his paws for once.
Yeah.
Does he not let anybody do that?
No.
Except for me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've got the Bowie pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. He let me touch his belly once, like 3 weeks ago.
Look at Bowie. He's looking at you guys like, yeah, fuck you.
It's like, he's the only one who gets to do it.
This
He
is
looks-
my... He's putting his hands on me so possessively to like, this is mine.
Yeah.
he looks catatonic. Heh, catatonic.
Oh my god.
I
Richie?
didn't even...
You even annoyed Bowie with that. His ears
His
twitched.
hair's funny.
Like,
Buddy.
really, buddy?
Really?
I didn't even intend that, and then I just had a moment where I'm like, heh.
Yeah.
Bowie's my familiar.
So this is a random thing to say, but one of my favorite like I can't what's the word I'm looking for? It's not exactly a stunt.
Choreography?
But I guess choreography is when he jumps onto the table using one hand.
And just crouches
And
up
just
on
crouches.
it.
And
up him
immediately goes into cross-leg setting, yeah.
Yeah, that's something I know I'd never be able to do.
That
so
is-
dope.
That's like a gymnastics move or
That's
something.
just a flex right there.
Honestly, I think that's
That
just a
is...
flex.
That probably only could have been done by a Lee.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Cause like I've seen people do like from laying down to jumping upright,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do.
Yeah.
But like jumping onto a table and landing cross-legged with one hand.
Yeah.
Like my wrists hurt looking at that.
Yeah.
You gotta love the irony too of Bai Ling's character being obsessed with eyes.
And then getting her eyes
then
gouged out.
Her death, I think, is my favorite death in the movie. Just because it's, like, it feels almost tonally out of place. It's like some shit out of, like, an
Giallo.
It's like something Bava or Argento would do.
That's from Tales from the Crypt shit.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Like, that death scene really kicks ass.
A lot of the death scenes kick ass.
Yeah, like, none of them are really that weak, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single bad one.
I can't think of one either.
There are sword fights, there are gun
they're all
fights.
poetic, too. Like, all the deaths are kind of poetic in the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, the guy with the knives got stabbed with his knives. Fun Boy got killed by, like, 20 heroin needles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got pin-cushioned.
Also, the girl who... The Bailing got,
her eyes gouged
got her
out.
eyes
And
gouged
she fell.
out.
Yeah, the only one who doesn't really have, like, a poetic, cool death is Gage, but that's just because Ernie Hudson kills him.
Yeah.
So he just kind of shoots him.
Which, is kind of a thematic extension of the fact that Eric is nearing the end of his revenge and the crow is losing its connection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, T-Bird gets blown up in his car.
Yeah.
T-Bird. Yeah.
T-Bird.
Yeah. And let's not forget, Top Dollar, who's like rules over the city, falls to his death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of a tall building.
Yeah, and he gets impaled on a gargoyle, something that is used for flushing things out.
That shot of the blood
Of the blood
coming
out of the gargoyle.
that is goth as fuck.
Rad as hell. Fuck, I love that death.
The shot, the lighting, the way the red shows up so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like, to be honest, I know it kind of looks like red paint, but it still looks really freaking cool.
It shows up better on film. Who cares? It looks sick as hell.
Yeah.
sometimes like you can't be like Tom Savini about it,
Yeah.
But all due respect to him, I love Tom Savini. But we all do. But there was the one scene I was going to talk about too. I picked up on something.
Yeah, like mad props to Tom Savini. He even released like a book like when he was younger, like that like detailed a bunch of his famous effects and how to perform them.
That is awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I want that book.
So do I. Might
but
need that in the future.
something that Daulton pointed out, and I think it's funny that I noticed it of all people, was when Top Dollar kills the pawn shop guy, played very well by John Polito, by the way.
Fantastic character actor. He's one of those dudes who's been in everything.
Watch Miller's Crossing. I think. Have either of you seen Miller's Crossing?
Nope.
No, I don't even. I know the title. I can't remember if it's a TV show or a movie.
Same.
Great Coen Brothers gangster movie that is.
Oh, yeah. Now I know.
It's honestly a candidate for this show. To be honest, I love the Can you tell I love the Coen Brothers? Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. You bring them up like every 2 or 3 episodes.
I mean, because they're great. Anyway, so he gets killed by a sword, and that sword is actually none other than the rapier made for the six-fingered man Count Rugen in The Princess Bride.
Yeah, hey, if a movie can recycle a prop, it will recycle a prop.
It will, yeah. I mean, look at how... throwback to Rocky Horror, look at how many props got reused from different horror films that they just threw in the Rocky Horror.
Who's like the third James Bond right after the one movie from Lazenby?
Huh?
Who was the third James Bond, like the one right after? Because Lazenby was second, right? He was the first one to follow up after.
I'm gonna type in the list
I want to say Roger Moore, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
It might be.
Okay, David Niven, George Lazenby, Roger Moore.
I might. Okay, yeah.
I was
Timothy
close.
Dalton.
Okay,
I
so
was close.
that reminds me of a funny story when we talk about prop recycling. The BBC was like desperate for props at one point, and Roger Moore happened to come by and show off some James Bond stuff, and the props guys immediately started pulling out their money and was like, "How much do you want for it? How much do you want for that?"
It literally is the Futurama.
Yeah, and they were like, and he was like, "I'm just here to give it to you guys, please. I know you're having some trouble with that." It looked like the props stuff.
It's like, here, have some random props.
Yeah.
So,
Third Doctor era, I believe.
I just think it's hilarious to me
I'll
that
check out.
Yeah.
it's like, of course, I'm the one who picked up on the rapier, because
I'm surprised I didn't, to be honest.
not only,
Yeah, it's only like one of your favorite
Movies.
to be fair, who is the sword guy?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
That's fair, you are the sword guy.
context, I did fencing as like a hobby.
I like how my brain sees that rapier, and I go, "Is that the one from the opening of Highlander?"
Maybe.
With the guy who first.
But that's
gets
not
killed.
a rapier. That's in the P, technically.
Ah.
Yeah.
Isn't it in the P? Not a rapier in the opening to Highlander.
I don't know, I'm just keeping
Wait.
Rambo.
No.
Famous
Dalton,
guy.
we were both wrong.
We are.
I think it's more like a saber because of its guard.
Uh,
It's a curve. There wasn't the biggest
These
curve
guys
ever.
talking about swords.
Okay, so bit of a thing about sabers. You'll notice a difference in the guards. It pays.
You nerd about that. I'm gonna look it up.
Epes or epes have full circle guards that cover the whole hand, whereas sabers. Erin, could you hold this up for me actually, so I can visualize for everybody?
Sure.
Sabers have guards that cover the front of your hand.
They cover your knuckles.
It covers your knuckles, and it also has a slight curve to it. I'm pretty sure that was a saber.
Just keep talking.
He's still looking at the Highlander sword from the opening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I not only have I trained with swords, I also have a huge ass collection of them.
Yep.
I'm kind of like I'm kind of the sword master, I guess. I don't know. The day we cover Highlander with a guest, I am going to.
You're gonna go fucking nuts.
I'm gonna go so nuts talking about the sword fights in that movie.
The sword fights and also the construction of the swords.
Of the swords. I mean, hell, the swords in this movie are cool too, because they have a katana fight at one point.
That is true. There is a katana fight. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, Eric takes one from Top Dollar at one point. But oh my god, the fight scenes are so great. So brutal yet so beautiful. That's the thing. This movie is a master of balancing all sorts of tones. Like, you'd think it'd just be a big sob fest, but
Yeah, it has some levity. There's scenes where there's levity, and there's also scenes where there's a warmth to it. Because it's pretty clear that Sarah is supposed to be, like, Eric and Shelley's, like, surrogate daughter in a way.
yeah, because her mom has some work.
Her mom is pretty neglectful.
She gets semi better. She
does
her
get
eggs.
better. She does get better.
Yeah.
She makes her eggs.
She makes her eggs. But yeah, the Dracula. Hey, you want to end up on camera, Dracula? We'll pick you up.
No, yellow goober.
He's a bit confused by the camera. Anyway.
I think he is.
Anyway.
Your cat's confused by the camera?
The other thing,
No.
the other thing I was going to mention is, besides that, I don't know, I don't want to rant on cinematography all the time, but I feel like
When it's this good, though?
when it's this good, I feel like I can rant about it for like a whole hour.
I figured it out.
You figured
Was
it
I
out.
right?
It's rather like Rich.
We were both wrong.
Oh, what was it?
It's actually a Toledo Salamanca broadsword.
Oh.
Yeah, not
common.
No.
Spanish.
Which is why we got confused.
Or wait, Portuguese?
Where's Toledo?
Spain or Portugal?
Mm-hmm.
Spain. It's
Spain.
in Spain.
Oh,
yeah.
so
I got confused with Lisbon.
also, there is a rapier in Highlander. It's not in the movies. It's actually from the Highlander TV show.
Yeah,
Before-
that short one.
Yeah, well, yeah, before Duncan gets the katana, he uses a rapier.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You don't see a lot of Spanish swords in mainstream movies.
No, you don't.
Mostly Asian and, like, Central, Western Europe kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna see more like French and English and.
I mean,
occasionally
you see
German
claymores.
and
You
Italian.
see,
Yeah.
you see Zweihanders.
Yeah. You know, it's a shame you don't see Turkish weaponry a lot. And
Turkish swords are really fun.
Gorgeous.
I love Turkish swords.
As a connoisseur, I must agree. Sorry.
Yeah.
I sound I'm sorry. I sound pretentious. I don't know.
It's okay.
Whoa.
We were padding out.
That's
time
all
so
right. Can we talk about Indian swords? India's got some real nice ass looking swords.
Hell, South Asian swords in general.
Oh yeah.
I'm forgetting what the name of that. Oh, I know what it is.
What?
They're mostly decorational and ceremonial, but do you know what an arumi is?
Yes, yeah. they're
Those
cool. Yeah.
whip swords.
They're so cool.
I know you're not a big fan of the game Indivisible, but I like it. The one dude who has the fucking arumis and just whoosh, whoosh, that was. Yeah, that
I'm
was
sitting here
badass.
pretending like I know what they're talking about.
Anyway,
The Crow.
This was The Crow. I don't think we have
I
much
don't
else
think we
to
have much
talk
else to
about.
say, really. 'Cause
It's
I was trying to find
fantastic.
things to talk about other than
Don't
oh my god,
watch-
cinematography.
Don't watch the Skarsgård movie. Sorry, Skarsgård. Love you. I'm not gonna say anything about your performance. You probably did at least okay.
Skarsgård, you're a good actor. You need to pick some better projects.
Both of you, Skarsgård. Both you, Skarsgårds.
Aren't there like 3 of them?
Stellan, Bill,
Alexander.
and Alex. Is Alexander related to them?
Who was the one in Barbarian?
That was Bill.
Bill.
I like Bill.
Like
Bill's a good actor.
he's good, and
He was also Pennywise.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
not my favorite Pennywise to be honest, but he was good.
No.
He did a good job.
I will say I love him just from watching behind the scenes stuff because he was very nice to the kids. Like,
Yeah.
there's the famous behind the scenes clip that like became a meme where he's like, "You guys ready to beat the shit out of me?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Like he seems like a cool dude, and his role in Barbarian was fucking hilarious.
Great playing against character role, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's
That
so
whole-
used to playing like monster characters in
Yeah.
a way.
So when you recognize it's Skarsgård, you're like, "Oh, this girl's in danger. This is bad."
And then you're like, oh,
"No, he's actually
He's
really
just
cool."
some
He's just an
guy who-
awkward dude.
he's just an awkward guy who happens to be in the same Airbnb.
Can I just say one more thing about
course,
Barbarian? Yeah, because I think my favorite thing about that was Oathbreaker's evolving opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because at first she hated it.
really,
Oh yeah, she thought that the twist for that movie came out of nowhere, and then I had a chat with her. I saw the movie and I read into it a bit. You know, I put on my analytical thinking cap, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "This movie's about the patriarchy."
And
This
then
movie's
she's
a-
like, oh,
She
yeah.
was like, "You
That
know
makes
what?
sense now.
You guys know Oath. She's one of our best buddies."
Yeah.
And she did the thing where it's like, "You know what?
I get it now.
She'll do that thing where she doesn't like she's not a big fan of the message, and then she'll know what that message is, and then she's very media literate.
yeah,
Yes.
she's bad. Zach Kreger's going all in on horror. I just was double checking. He has a horror film coming out next year. He produced, and in 2026 he's having a director, writer, producer horror film come out.
So
Hey,
Talented
he's,
guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Talented
he started
guy.
out in comedy, and comedy and horror are very similar, and that's all about timing.
Yeah.
look at Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, so The Crow was fantastic. Please go
Yes.
watch it. It's around.
yeah. It's streaming on a few services.
I think Paramount Plus.
Maybe it was
No,
on Pluto.
it's on Pluto. You can rent it on Apple TV and Amazon, I believe.
And we had a Blu-ray, which is how
Yeah.
we
we had a
saw it.
Blu-ray. The
Yeah, I
Blu-ray you
had a
can
Blu-ray.
find just about anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a pretty common film. Sling TV as well. It's on.
Yeah, it's on. And
Sling TV, Pluto,
And you
then
can
you
rent
can
it on
rent
Amazon
from,
or Apple
like,
TV.
any place that allows you to rent movies, basically.
Yeah.
So.
As per the nature of this lineup, I am the next on the docket.
Yes.
And little behind the scenes trivia for you guys. I like to leave things to a big wheel of movies.
Okay.
Because my list is like a mile long.
Mm-hmm.
And in these trying times, the
Care
wheel...
for an egg?
Huh?
Care for an egg?
What?
Care for an egg in these trying times? Sorry.
Sorry. In these fraught times for America, the wheel had a dark ass sense of humor. Because
Oh boy.
next on the docket is a supposedly happy kids movie.
I like supposedly happy kids movies.
That is in truth a harrowing fable about immigration and the myths surrounding it.
Uh-oh.
I know what this is.
And since this one has a troubling lack of Don Bluth in his life, we are going to give him one hell of an introduction with Steven Spielberg and Don Bluth's An American Tail. Fuck you, movie wheel, but I do like this movie.
I like it too. So Dalton is the uninitiated. Yeah. We'll see you next
American
time.
Tail. And
candy scented.
The candy candle.
And I have saved.
Like barely anything left of that.
I've saved the file,
okay.
and
okay, I gotta turn off the camera real quick.
it's on. It's on.
It's on Dalton's ass right now.
I was saying it's on Dalton. It's on your ass.
Start twerking, babe. Make that money.